Hello and a happy Sunday to you. It's Sunday the 18th of September and welcome to The Big Magazine, your nice relaxed look around our area. Let's see what we've got for your Sunday. Yes, it's Sunday, so in a few moments we're going to cross to the Big News team to see what they've been reported on this week. A little later on in the show, Des and Gary will see what's on for Sunday. Carl will be here with his look at the week's film news and charts. We'll also find out what's up on this week's community notice board, and we'll see how you've been connecting with us too. So it's all to come within the pages of Sunday's Big Magazine. So then, it's over now to Big Centre's newsroom for a look back at what's been going on in our area this week.
Riddle of the day. How do you get top quality artists, fancy dress, and legendary film directors in the same place at the same time? Easy. Host a comic convention. That was the scene in Birmingham City Centre on Saturday, as the studio was the venue for the International Comics Expo. Hundreds of people were at the event that had a mixture of comics on display as well as seminars.
We've got lots of artists in the building, we've got lots of publishers, we've got writers, we've got every type of creative person imaginable to do with comics. And we've also got lots of fans. So it's a really good cocktail of people. A lot of the artists here, they're working artists, you know, they're making a living out of being artists, but they're also selling their own IP. You know, sometimes you'll get artists who are just like drawing well-known characters, which is fair enough. But a lot of the guys here, they create their own characters. So they've created their own IP and they're promoting that here at the show. So we've got the more well-known artists, people like the creator of Judge Dredd, John Wagner, Suicide Squad writer, Rob Williams, the Walking Dead artist, Charlie Adlard, people like that, really big names.
Special guests indeed. A total of 45 guests were invited. Their resumes range from directing the likes of Doctor Who, Peppa Pig, and Hercules. Arguably the most impressive is the man behind the film that goes by the name of Star Wars.
It's a lovely event. It looks like people are having a good time, and it's nice. I've always been a big comic book and graphic novel fan all my life. I've done a lot of it in my career, and I like to work with students, and I feel like the whole idea of helping to nurture a new generation of students, as I was when I was a student, is very worthwhile.
Gary Kurtz co-directed Star Wars in 1977, and his list of films include blockbusters such as American Graffiti and The Empire Strikes Back. His latest project comes as part of the new comic series entitled The Cimarron. Co-owned by production company JBK Hybrid, Kurtz is teaming up with two other Emmy-nominated producers, all of which were at the event launching the new comic.
It's brilliant. I mean, I'm a massive comic fan. I've actually got about 20,000 comics myself and about 2,000 graphic novels. So the idea to come here was mine. And there's a wonderful crowd of people here. They're very engaged. They hopefully really like what we're doing. And so it's perfect. It's a perfect place to launch. I've been a comic fan far longer than I've been a comic writer. So the actual writing I've done has only been the last year. So for me, it's very simple just to feel like I'm the other side of the table. So everything I can do, every little tidbit of advice, every little connection I can help those guys make is all, you know, it's all for the good.
And with decades of experience in the film and production industry between them, what advice do the producers of The Cimarron have for the aspiring artists at the convention?
Well, the main word is perseverance. Never ever give up. We've been knocking this project around for a good few years, so it doesn't happen overnight. All of a sudden, there's a lot of attention and things are kicking off.
The convention lasted for 2 days, as artists had the opportunity to sell their work there and then. And as many people were able to request sketches of their favourite comics, the event was pretty much picture perfect. Aaron Wiggins for Big News.
The annual members event at Black Country Living Museum celebrates health and well-being in a friendly atmosphere, offering live poetry, music and entertainment It showcases some of the services that the NHS Foundation Trust can deliver to the community.
I think for us it's an opportunity to promote occupational therapy. There's a lot of misunderstanding, I would say, about the profession as a whole and what the occupational bit is. And it's all around activities and activities that provide meaning for people in their daily life. So it can be anything from being able to go to the toilet itself, getting dressed, right through to leisure, and anything that gives them meaning. And it's particularly for us, it's how if people are affected by illness, how it affects their ability to carry out the activities that they want to do, and that's where occupational therapists come in.
We're funded by NHS England. We work across the whole of the Black Country area. The service is facilitated by Dudley and Walsall Mental Health Trust and the Black Country Partnership Trust as well. We work with people in the criminal justice system, so we're based at Wolverhampton Police Station, Oldbury Custody Suite, and we also have an outreach team to try and help people engage in services, and also a youth team as well to work with people under the age of 18. So it's an all-age service working with people of all vulnerabilities. I think it's very important because I think a lot of people probably within the trust get to know about services like this, but I think it's very important as well that our partnership agencies and also our communities, which are very important, understand what services are out there, how to access them, and even just to know that these services are available to help people.
The networking is invaluable, and to get together. And there's a lot of negativity around the NHS, so I think this is hopefully it's seen in a very sort of positive light as well.
I'm Darrell Gardner for Big News.
Marking 100 years since the birth of Roald Dahl, there are many events taking place throughout 2016, focusing on his gloriumptious stories and characters. In Birmingham's Custard Factory on Saturday, there was a day of Roald Dahl-themed fun, bringing together hundreds of his fans and their families to celebrate the works of this famous writer. Despite the rain, people were gathering to join different activities and were having a great family day out listening to the stories, watching the film adaptations and savouring a lot of sweets.
Paid him in potatoes. But he didn't mind. I mean, he liked potatoes. He liked to dice them, slice them, frit them, fry them, bake them, boil them, mash them, bake them. So he put them in his sack, at least 200 of them, and off he went home and he took out some potatoes and he ate them.
So you're at the Custard Factory in Digbeth. We've got the Roald Dahl 100 birthday fun day. So we've had all activity across site. So we've had some cake making, chocolate rooms, we've had films, storytelling and fancy dress competition as well. I think everybody's loved the storytelling. That's been really popular today. The fancy dress competition's been brilliant. We're just about to do the judging now. And also as well the street food and fairground rides. I think everybody loves Roald Dahl. I mean, the books are absolutely fantastic. It just opens up kids' imagination and, you know, it's just fantastic.
Well, we're going to go to the cinema to see the film The Witches, so we've got tickets for that at 5 o'clock. And yeah, these guys are all big fans of Roald Dahl, so we're just going to come and see what's on. We've already seen the BFG over there. And I think this guy likes George's Marvellous Medicine.
Oh, and I like Ratburger.
No, but Ratburger's not by Roald Dahl. Ratburger's by David Walliams, but it is a good book too.
Mr. Fantastic Fox.
Why is it your favourite? Why?
Because I like how he's sneaky without getting seen.
There you go. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
It's a great day for the family to come out, so enjoying the full day with the family, something for the kids, something for the parents, so there's loads to do. Yeah, so we've been taking part in the fancy dress today, so we're just waiting for the results for the fancy dress.
We're here today because we're lovers of Roald Dahl books and obviously his work, so just coming down to see what the atmosphere is really all about and enjoying the fun.
Who is reading most, you or?
Ooh, probably a bit of both, because obviously we're at the age where she's reading lots of sorts of things like that. What have we just been to see that is made by Roald Dahl, Amelia, at the cinema?
Which is your?
The BFG we've just seen, so that's out at the moment, so it's quite popular Roald Dahl at the moment, I think. And
Which is your favourite book?
What's your favourite book by Roald Dahl, Amelia? The BFG. It's a popular one at the moment, so.
Did have absolutely incredible outfits on. They've changed because of rain and things like that. But here you go, accept your prize. Yeah. Okay, you ready? Okay, fish fingers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, fish fingers!
This is Sam Davis for Big News.
Right then, still to come, Des and Gary will find out what's on for Sunday, and Carl will run down the film chart and cast an eye over the new film releases. I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. It's the Big Magazine with you for a Sunday here on Big Centre. Now, still to come, Carl is going to be here with the film news, and we'll see what's up on the community notice board too. Oh, and we're going to look at how you've been connecting with Big Centre this week as well. It's all later on in the show. But first, let's find out what's on for Sunday. Here's Des and Gary.
Right then, here we are, Sunday. Hope you're having a good one. And at the Town Hall tonight, there's a rare chance to enjoy an evening with Sue Perkins, packed full of sparkling wit, great stories, a user's guide to Mary Berry, and the very best bits from a hilarious best-selling memoir, Spectacles. She's good, she is. She's good.
User's guide to Mary Berry.
Mary Berry.
Yeah.
I really can't get into Bake Off.
No.
But I know it's a massive, massive programme, and millions watch it.
Money spinner as well.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't do it. I like to bake, but, you know, yeah. Over in Lichfield at the Garrick Theatre, the magic of the musicals features favourite songs from the shows. Expect Lloyd Webber, Sondheim, Gershwin, Rodgers and Hammerstein, and everything in between, culminating in a breathtaking Les Miserables finale.
That's brilliant. Very good.
It stars West End leading lady Julie Atherton with Marvin the Jazzman from BBC's The Voice and a whole host of other West End stars, supported by a huge community choir, 12-piece West End band, and the stunning magic of musicals dancers.
Yeah, sounds a very good show. Yeah, that's it, brilliant. Now, at the Core Theatre in Solihull. Which one's the Core? Is that the old?
It's the old Arts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just next. It's literally a step out of the shopping centre and Touchwood. That's it.
Yeah.
So at the Core Theatre in Solihull, Tape Face is the show the world can't stop talking about. It's stand-up comedy with no talking, drama with no acting, and punchlines with no words. Tape Face conjures up roarous and moving tableaus using only the most everyday objects and the most popular of songs.
Yeah,
Is this the guy that puts tape over his mouth?
Yes, and he does everything with expression.
I've seen him at the Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah.
Now I know
he's
who
a
he is.
massive,
very
massive
good.
Yeah,
very funny.
I think he was called Boy with the Tape on his face, but he's just called it.
He was
Tape
good.
Face,
Yes.
They're raving about him. Yeah. And gigs tonight. Jimi Hendrix's younger brother Leon is at the Robin 2 in Bilston. Yes, that's an interesting. I watched a video of him. The other bloke plays all the Hendrix stuff. He just stands there and talks.
Oh, right.
Dilly Dally play the Hare and Hounds, and Sean Cuddy is in the Irish Centre. And I couldn't show a video of Jimi Hendrix's brother because there isn't one.
To show, really.
So I thought we'd go back to the old Emerald Isles.
Back to Ireland.
And here's Back Home to Ireland.
She said, come back, Paddy, soon again to Ireland. Come back, Paddy, soon again to me. For I know that far off fields they do look greener. And old Ireland's the place I want to be. It's 20 years ago now since that morning. I only wish My mother I could see, but she is gone and I'm still here in London. And old Ireland again I'll never see. She said, come back, Paddy, soon again to Ireland. Come back, Paddy, soon again to me. For I know that far off fields they do look greener, and old Ireland's the place I want to be. Sad, my dear old mother's passed away, but I was young and far off fields they did look greener, and old Ireland again I'll never stray. She said, come back, Paddy, soon again to Ireland. Come back.
And Des and Gary will be back here on Big Centre with a look at what's on for the coming week tonight at 7, as well as during Big News all this week. So then, it's time now to take a look at this week's new film releases, as well as the movie chart. It's time for the Big Picture Bite Size. Here's Carl Jones.
Thanks very much, Lee. Well, it's now time to have a look at what's happening at West Midlands cinemas. And there's no doubting the film that everybody's been talking about this weekend. That's the return of Bridget Jones. In the film that's called Bridget Jones's Baby, this accident-prone hero is wrestling with troubles of being a woman in her 40s, not to mention being pregnant, with a couple of options of who the father actually is. Here's a look at some classic Bridget-isms through the eyes of the star players Renee Zellweger, Colin Firth and Patrick Dempsey.
I'm looking for someone dynamic to lead. Any volunteers? Do you need the bathroom, Bridget?
Bridget always seems to me the most wonderful paradox between utter hopelessness and incredible competence.
Her optimism and her determination to succeed in spite of her failings is inspiring.
I'm pregnant. I'm going to have a baby.
Everything is completely under control.
She's not a loser. She's still funny. And she's not just a stooge either. She's witty. So you have no idea which of us is actually the father?
I know, it's all very confusing.
She's not perfect, and she doesn't intend to be, but she's, you know, trying to find her way.
They're both equally likely, so do bring along the father if you can work out which one he is.
Renee is better at being Bridget than I can imagine anyone being, because she's got the capacity to act that slightly scatty thing, which she isn't at all, actually.
There's a clownishness to her. All the potential for humiliation, which is always lurking, she still plows on.
Awkward comedy is my favorite, on screen and off.
It comes really naturally to me. I enjoy it, especially when Sharon is around the corner laughing and shouting out how I make it more clumsy.
We work on that a lot. Just how far we can go with how klutzy or dysfunctional she is. But most of these things that she does are based on somebody we know's life.
It blows my mind. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this has been worth coming back just to see her do all that.
Renee is Bridget Jones. She plays it in a very sympathetic way because I think that kindness oozes out of her. She's definitely the right person for it, and it couldn't have happened without her this time.
So there you go, that's been the big hit at West Midlands Cinemas this weekend. But if you don't fancy that one, what else is on offer? Well, the current top 5 going into the weekend looked a bit like this. At number 5, we had the remake of Ben-Hur with Jack Huston and Morgan Freeman. Not quite as epic as the Charlton Heston version, I think it's fair to say. At number 4, the latest action-packed animation, that's Kubo and the Two Strings. At 3, Mila Kunis feeling rebellious in crazy comedy Bad Mums by the makers of The Hangover, that one. And at 2, nerve-jangling crime tale Don't Breathe. Which means that, have you guessed it, at number 1 for a second successive week, it's that foul-mouthed animation Sausage Party. A cartoon for sure, but not one to take the kids along to see. Now, next week, we finally get a chance to see what Glenn Close, Gemma Arterton and Paddy Considine were doing when they were up in Dudley last summer with the release of sci-fi thriller The Girl with All the Gifts. And I'm delighted to say that on my other show, The Week with Carl Jones, I'll be bringing you a special 20-minute look behind the scenes during that shoot in the West Midlands. That premieres this coming Friday. Meanwhile, though, here's Gemma Arterton on location, talking about the character she plays in the film.
I play Helen Justineau, who is I guess you would say the teacher for the kids, for the hungry kids, and she's brought in to educate them, but also as part of the kind of the program to try and find out how to cure, to find a cure.
So plenty more, as I say, where that came from next week. Don't forget, if you're a local movie maker or you're involved in any kind of filmmaking ventures with links to the West Midlands, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at movies@bigcentre.tv or contact us online and through Facebook.
Thanks, Carl. He's here at the same time every week. And of course, there's more from Carl every day of the week in the Big Picture Bite Size. And you can see a number of editions of the Big Picture on our online catch-up service too. Right, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at the community notice board. And as ever, we'll be seeing what you've been saying to us as well. So I'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello, my name's John Price. I'm pastor of Kingsway Church in Wombourne. Let me just talk to you for a couple of minutes about your face. Faces are totally unique, unless you're a twin. No one else has got your face. Your face sets you apart from everybody else. You're recognised by your facial features. And of course, your face contains some of the most important faculties that you possess. 2 eyes for seeing, 2 ears for hearing, a mouth for speaking, singing, shouting, eating, kissing, and a nose. When you socially interact with people, it's your face people look at. It's face to face, it's never feet to feet. And when you're in love, you gaze into your lover's eyes. They're the window of the soul, somebody once said. I remember when my kids were just babies, I would hold them close and just nuzzle them with my face. And in response, they would explore my face with their fingers. Faces tell you so much about a person. If they're smiling, they're happy. If they're frowning, they're not happy. If their lips are turned down at the corner, then they're grumpy. If their faces are as red as beetroot, they've either had too much sun or too much to drink, or their team has just lost again. Faces. And when we turn our faces towards people, it says lots of things. When we turn our faces away from people, that also makes a statement. God wants regular, face-to-face meetings with you, as a friend, as a father to you as his child, as a confidant, an advisor, a helper, a comforter. In the Old Testament, in the book of Numbers, in chapter 6 and verse 24, we have the great priestly blessing that God commanded Moses to speak over Israel. God just wanted to bless his chosen people. And this blessing did that. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. What a great blessing. He wants to gaze on you with love. But he needs you to respond, to reciprocate by turning your face towards him. Thank you.
So then, let's have a look what is happening in our area as we turn our attention to the community notice board.
Yes, of course. Now, if you have some local news or information that you'd like us to mention, then please do get in touch. But as always, as we always say, give us plenty of notice.
Yes, and if you do want to get in touch, then as always, we'll tell you how you can in a few minutes' time.
Now, Robert Hazel at Tipton Library's been in touch to tell us about a photographic competition called What Tipton Means to Me. Well, then what it means to me is that I come from there, you see.
Oh,
Yes.
means a lot to you then.
You're not so far away yourself, are you?
No.
Okay. Now, this one is dedicated to the memory of John Whitehouse, who used to look after the canal locks in Tipton.
The winner will be awarded £75 plus the John Whitehouse Memorial Medal, and second prize is £25. They're looking to award the prizes to the best original photographs that you show your favourite scene in Tipton.
Yeah, now the competition is being run by Tipton Civic Society, Tipton Community Association and Sandwell Council. It launches on the 17th of September and the closing date is the 6th of January.
So if you'd like an entry form, you can pick one up from any Tipton library, or you can email robert_hazel@sandwell.gov.uk. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, Robert. Now, the 2016 Countryside Alliance Awards, nicknamed the Rural Oscars, are now open to public nomination at www.countryside-alliance.org.
This sounds interesting.
It is.
Now, the Rural Oscars recognise hard-working rural businessmen and women
That's important.
and those who routinely go the extra mile for their community or to help preserve and protect rural life. The awards have become the definitive rural award to win because they celebrate the characters behind the business and the efforts they go to, not just the business itself.
Yeah. Now, these awards are now in their 12th year, and last year they received over 4,500 nominations from the public. Nominations are open until 4th of November this year. Then a list of finalists will be drawn up by the judges, and judging visits will take place. The finalists will be invited to a reception of the House of Lords earlier in the new year. Yeah. And then the winners will be announced.
The awards invite nominations across 4 categories. You have local food and drink, village shop, post office, tourism enterprise, and the newest category, farm enterprise.
Yeah. Nominations can be made in more than one category. Previous nominees are welcome to get involved, and nominations can be made, as we said, at the website, which is www.countryside-alliance.org.uk until Friday, the 4th of November.
On a similar theme, the Wildlife Trusts have published a new guide which highlights the vital importance of local wildlife sites across the UK. These places are havens for some of our rarest habitats and species.
Now, according to the Wildlife Trust's guide, in Birmingham and the Black Country we have 644 local wildlife sites covering 4,599 hectares, more than 7% of the land in the region in total. Now, this is land that has been identified as very important for wild plants and animals, but these places don't always benefit from the recognition needed to ensure the protection and the right kind of care.
Unlike sites of special scientific interest, local wildlife sites are not protected by law and do not benefit from national recognition of their wildlife importance. The Wildlife Trusts believe that this makes them vulnerable to neglect, mismanagement and the huge pressure for development across the country.
We have to look after the wildlife, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So, for a copy of this new local wildlife sites guide, or to find out more about the Wildlife Trust for Birmingham and the Black Country, have a look at their website, which is www.wildlifetrusts.org.
That was an easy one.
It was actually.
We get some right websites.
It's a good job they're on the screen.
Now, arts groups and organisations in Aston and Newtown can apply for grants from a £500,000 funding pot following the closure of the Drum in Aston. It's very sad because the Drum's a great place.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times. The Birmingham City Council have worked with Arts Council England and local stakeholders to identify priorities for cultural development in both areas and agree match funding.
Yeah, now the grants are split into two streams. The first is to develop engagement in the arts through activities for young people and for older people, co-designed with the community. Newly formed groups will be able to apply for grants of £2,000 to £4,000, while established organisations can bid for funding between £20,000 and £100,000.
That's a lot of money.
It certainly is.
The second stream is to develop opportunities for black and minority ethnic creative entrepreneurs and producers. This will be through the award of £125,000 to an established organisation or consortium to support local groups in developing their skills and networks, and a further £25,000 award for helping them grow capacity for the future.
Yeah, it's well worth applying, and applications close on the 10th of October, it's next month. And for more information, you can go to the Birmingham Culture website, which is birminghamculture, all one word, .org, and you look out for the section called Culture on Our Doorstep.
Sounds like a great cause.
Does.
And finally, just a quick reminder of something we mentioned last week. It's Tipton Library's Local History Day next Saturday, the 24th. Remember? Lee's birthday.
My birthday.
During the day, there will be a talk about Midland beauty spots by local historian Ian Bott, as well as acclaimed Magnum photographer Martin Parr's Black Country Photos exhibition.
Yes, visitors will get the chance to read through unseen Tipton Herald newspapers from yesteryear and watch some local history film shows, as well as enjoying homemade cakes and coffee.
Also, on the same day, calling Black Country brides. Bring in your wedding photos, share your memories and have your photo taken on the wedding bandstand. Wedding photographs, old and new, are just the ticket for Tipton Library's latest project.
I must tell my mum and dad about that. You see, they're appealing for brides past and present to take their wedding photographs along and have them copied for a future exhibition next February around Valentine's Day.
The bandstand in the library will be themed as a wedding pagoda. I was going to say propaganda. No, not wedding propaganda. It will be themed as a wedding pagoda. And as we said, couples who bring in their photos can have their photo taken on the bandstand as well.
That will look really nice, yeah. Now, the local History Day will be dedicated to Don and Isabel Beebe from the British Legion Tipton branch to celebrate all the hard work they do for the Poppy Appeal.
So it's all on at the Tipton Library for the local History Day on Saturday, the 24th September. His birthday.
So there you go. That's what we found pinned to this week's community notice board.
Have you been sitting there hoping that we'd mention something, or do you know of something coming up soon that we ought to be talking about? I have something.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh.
We need to let all the viewers know that I'm not going to be here for a few weeks.
Why not?
Because we're going away for filming, but it's all to do with a really exciting Big Centre project, so when I'm back we'll have more information on that.
In true Blue Peter style, you are on a filming exhibition.
Yes.
Expedition.
I always wanted to do a Blue Peter expedition.
You borrow me badge.
I need to get a Big Centre blue badge.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Take a mug with you.
Okay, yes.
You can have a cup of tea while you're away. Or whatever, you like to drink. Now, if you want to get in touch with us about something, do, but please make sure you let us know in plenty of time.
So how do you get in touch? Well, there are many ways, but your best bet is to email us via the postbag. That's hello at bigcentre.tv. Or if social media is your thing, then you can look us up and send us a message at Big Centre TV.
Or you can put a letter in the post. And where do you send it to? The community notice board. Big Centre, 14A, Low Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL.
And we'll have more for you at the same time next week.
Well, I will.
Lee will.
Yeah. Have a nice time.
Thank you.
OK, then we're going to take a short break now. There's plenty still to come, and of course we'll be seeing what you've been saying to us as well. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. It is the Big Magazine with you for a Sunday here on Big Centre. So still to come, we'll take a look at how you've been connecting with Big Centre this week. But first, it's time to look into the world of Johnny Doom from Amped to see what's happening in the music world.
Right, it's me, Johnny Doom, from your weekly rock show on Big Centre TV, Amped. You can see it at 10 on Wednesday, Friday 11:30 and 10 on Saturday. Here's my pick of the gigs anyway. McFly, they're going to be at the O2 Academy from the 21st to the 23rd. Of Mice and Men, if you want something heavy, that's 30th of September at the O2 Academy. And Feeder are back. Yeah, they've got a new album. And, well, they're playing at the O2 Institute on the 4th of October. Here they are with a brand new track. This is called Eskimo.
This is feelings that implode, pulling me apart, out of control, as I fall into despair. I shook the devil by the hand, stole the whiskey from the mouth of a broken man. From the ruins grew a town, from the ashes grew a forest across the land. Give us hope, give us love, give us freedom, give us peace. Hallelujah, sing it back to me if you believe. There's these feelings that implode, pulling me apart, out of control, as I fall into despair. There's still thoughts I receive, and a voice that carries wisdom in the breeze. As I look to the west, a neon sign is glowing through the trees. Give us hope, give us love, give us freedom, give us peace. Hallelujah, sing it back to me if you believe. There's these feelings that implode, pulling me apart, out of control, as I fall into despair. There's a reason I must go to a place where shadows guard my soul, as I fall into despair. How could I forget? Why would I forget? Think of the alibi, so much for sacrifice. How could I forget? Why would I forget? Caught in the eye of a hurricane. I shook the devil by the hand, stole the whiskey from the mouth of a broken man. There's these feelings that implode, pulling me apart, out of control, as I fall into despair. There's a reason I must go to a place where shadows guard my soul, as I fall into despair.
And thanks to Johnny Doom there. As he said, he'll be back with Amped on Wednesday and Saturday nights at 10, plus Friday nights at 11:30. So then let's move on to some of the messages we've received. First up, we've got a big congratulations to the winner of our Big Fish competition that we ran last month. It's Alan Boone. Now, he and a friend are going to be flying out to Canada next week for a 5-day, all expenses paid trip of a lifetime, fishing on Tobin Lake in Saskatchewan. All thanks to our friends at Fishing in Saskatchewan. And we'll be talking to Alan and his companion later in the week, so do keep an eye out for that. Next, Linda Harper Hucknall has asked us to mention Black Country Theatre's forthcoming performance of The Last Tango in Tipton. Yeah, now it's going to be on the 11th and 12th of November at the Comedian Theatre in New Road in Tipton. You can find out more online at www.cateshillpress.com and watch out for it within What's On with Des and Gary nearer to November. Now, you might have seen Life Stories last week where Des Tong spoke with musician Cissy Stone. Now, they've known each other for years and it was a great programme. Erica Jones got in touch to say, looking good both and still rocking it up. Fantastic. And if you want to see it again, then you can watch it on our website at www.bigcentre.tv. Next, Marcus Distant was a guest on Big News a while ago, and he's been in touch to let us know about a project he's running. Marcus says, I was just wondering if anyone would like to donate to my Duncan Edwards, The Boy Who Had It All Kickstarter campaign. We have currently raised nearly £4,000. So if you'd like to find out more about that, then Marcus has posted the details on our Facebook page. Oh, quickly on Twitter, the Black Country Partnership Trust said, big thanks to Big Centre for covering our annual members event which took place at the Black Country Living Museum. And you can see that report again on our YouTube channel. Thanks guys. Now you might remember Norris, the humanoid robot who visited Carl Jones a few weeks ago. Well, Norris has put some behind the scenes bits and pieces on YouTube. So if you want to see Norris, the humanoid robot, in all his glory, then follow the link from our Twitter page. Now, elsewhere, as we've been saying, it's Birmingham Heritage Week, and Two Towers Brewery tweeted us, and Moorpool Heritage Trust as well. They reckon Birmingham and the Moorpool Estate is a great place, and after seeing all the events for the Heritage Week, we agree. In fact, Moorpool Heritage Trust themselves tweeted us to say, thanks to Big Centre for your support in spreading the Moorpool word. A great programme to rival the Great British Bake Off. Possibly. Now, Steve Green is very impressed with the number of name checks Giles Logan from Brum's Cinema Addicts squeezed into the second half of his appearance on Carl Jones's show. Yeah, we were impressed as well. So there you go. If you'd like to get in touch with us, maybe you just want to say hi and get your name on the telly, or perhaps you just want to send someone a nice message on the telly. Maybe it's even somebody's birthday, or, you know, somebody celebrating something, whatever. On social media, here's where we are, Big Centre TV. And you can find us under that name on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Plus, of course, you could email us, hello@bigcentre.tv. Oh, and don't forget, we do have a couple of other Twitter feeds as well that you can keep in touch with. For sport, you need to follow Big Centre Sport. And for news, you need to follow Big Centre News. Simple as that. Or if you just want to write to us, then the address for anything at all is Big Centre, 14A, Low Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL. And there you go, time to close the pages of the Big Magazine for Sunday. But remember, you can catch the Big Magazine on Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Then we're back with more on Sundays, also at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Now, during the week, Big News is with you at 10 and 1:30. Then again, 5 till 6 and 8:30, all including big sport from our studios at Edgbaston Stadium. Oh, and I'll be seeing you again this week in our big quiz. Now you can play along on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings at 6, and you can catch it again on Wednesday and Friday afternoons. Then I'll see you back here, same time, same place next week. So then, thank you for watching this weekend. I'll see you later. Try a bit.